In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday on Coping with Tre Tailor. Coping. It's Wednesday, and that means it's Wellness Wednesday. In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Tre Tailor. Today, we're coping with walking. The 2022 Wellness Walk is this month, and Michelle Harris and Nicky Wood from SC DHEC join us to tell us all the details. Ladies, I'm excited and so grateful that you guys are joining us today.
Thank you for having us, Tre.
Absolutely. Then we'll hear from James Johnson from MUSC. He's going to tell us about the benefits of walking and how and where we can keep those benefits up. Mr. Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. And then Mary Rowe joins us from Palmetto Trails to tell us how we can keep up those benefits of walking and hiking too. That and more coming up next on Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. But first, your COVID community updates. Several area high school districts are beefing up their security. 3 members of Richland School District 5 security team will now be armed with firearms on its campuses. That school board voted unanimously to update its weapon policy, they say, as a sensible way to calm parents' nerves and provide an added layer of protection for students and staff. Meanwhile, Richland School District 2 is updating their security and safety procedures after a fight ended a football game last weekend. Now, all Richland 2 high school students will need a ticket and to show their ID to attend without a parent or guardian. They also have to attend or enter through an identified student gate. Now, students that are visiting that are not part of the Richland School District 2 will need to have their school ID and a ticket to participate without a parent or guardian. Anyone else under the age of 18 will need an accompanying parent or guardian. No one else will be allowed to congregate or stand around the concourse or field. SC DHEC has your most up-to-date list of times, dates, and locations for COVID testing and vaccinations in and around South Carolina. Visit scdhec.gov for more information. Now, throughout the show, you will see scrolling at the bottom of the screen information about COVID tests and vaccinations. We'll share with you information about the 5 free rapid COVID tests that you can get at covidtest.gov. COVID testing for veterans at the VA. We'll also give you information throughout the show about the retail outlets that are available throughout the state for you to get a COVID test and a vaccine, including Kroger, Walgreens, and CVS. And that includes the CVSs that are located in Target stores. The Comet Bus System not only provides free COVID testing, they also have free rides to get your vaccine, plus financial resources, including the SC Bar Association and SC Legal Services. They've got a toll-free number and website for rental and mortgage help. SC Housing and Dominion Energy have a rental and utility assistance program. Lexington, NAACP, and United Way have collaborated for stability services. You can see that information on the screen, and that also will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen throughout the show. We've also got information about job openings, Food Share, which takes weekly orders every Wednesday. And then today is the last day if you want to audition online for American Idol. Visit americanidol.com/auditions. Plus, we've got plenty of job opportunities available. And all of that information will be scrolling at the bottom of the screen. So please continue to post and share so we can get the message to the masses. You're watching Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. This is Wellness Wednesday on Coping with Tre Tailor. We're streaming live on the In It Together Facebook page. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow. Not only will you be able to get all types of great updates, you should really check out the In It Together Facebook page. They've got information on tips to lead a healthier lifestyle, food tips, exercise tips, and so much more. You can also get more information, of course, about the wellness walk that we're going to talk about a little bit later on today. We're also streaming live on the In It Together website and YouTube channel. Please go over there, hit the subscribe button so you can key into all of the great content going on within it together. Now, we're also streaming live on the TailorMade production page on Facebook. That's the home of Coping with Tre Tailor and Wellness Wednesday. Please go over there, hit like and share and follow. And again, get updates as to when we go live every Wednesday for Wellness Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday for Coping with Tre Tailor. We're streaming live on the YouTube channel also. Now, there we've got 3 years of interviews, resources, and information to help you cope with anything, because as we say, we'll always be coping with something. We also have a presence on Instagram and also on Twitter. Now, of course, we also have an opportunity for you to join in on the show. If you've got a question or a comment, we would love for you to put that in the chat section, just like Betty Fletcher. She says, good afternoon, everyone. Hey there, Betty. Thank you so much for joining us on Wellness Wednesday. Well, today we're coping with wellness and walking. The 2022 Wellness Walk is at Segra Park next weekend. Nicky King, Community Engagement Coordinator at SC DHEC, joins us along with Communications and Resource Coordinator for the Division of Diabetes and Heart Disease Management. That's a big title for an amazing person. Michelle Harris and Nicky both join us today on Wellness Wednesday. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, Tre.
Absolutely. Thank you. So you guys have a really great event coming up. Tell us first why you thought you needed to have a wellness walk.
Well, I'll grab that one, Nicky. It's really what we want to do. I mean, and Tre, first of all, let me thank you for being such a great partner with the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina and our division at DHEC, because we have spent about the last 2.5 years with you getting the information out about health and wellness. And so we just kind of thought this wellness walk would be a great way to highlight the fact that physical activity is such a great factor in your health. Is so important. We definitely want you to eat right. We definitely want you to go to the doctor and do all of those other things. But if you don't add physical activity, you're really robbing yourself, not only of the great benefits of walking, and you'll talk so much more about that, but just especially after the pandemic, the opportunity to come together. That's why we wanted to do the wellness walk together as a group, a community effort.
Awesome. So, Nicky, tell us all of the exciting details about the Wellness Walk next Saturday.
Yeah, so it will be a fun event. We're going to be at Segra Park within the stadium of Segra Park where the Fireflies play. We'll be walking on the inside concourse, so all around the field. We're going to have events going on. We're going to have information. We're going to have giveaways, some snacks, prizes, lots to do, and exercise to be had.
All right, absolutely. Now, of course, it's going to be next Saturday. Can you tell us what time and how people can participate?
Of course. Well, the gates at Segra Park will open for the public at 8 a.m. We're going to have some activities that start before the actual walk. So we'll be, the YMCA will be hosting a stretch. We'll have some great information tables, and the co-sponsor Columbia's Praise will be live broadcasting from the outside of the stadium. And at 9 a.m., our walk will start where everyone who's there, our community, will get to walking.
Awesome. Awesome. So I see that it's free. We just showed the flyer. It's a free walk, and that's always great. I mean, because one, people are still a little strapped with, with finances. And I think that just encourages people more to come on out and have a great day with their family and friends and walk. Won't you think so, Michelle?
Oh, exactly. That the fact that it's free, I think, highlights the fact that that's one great thing about walking. You don't really need, any special equipment. You don't need a lot of training. You can just get out there and put one foot in front of the other. So, with the DHEC Division of Diabetes and Heart Disease Management, like you say, a long title, but in our division, we do so much to try to underwrite healthy eating and active living for folks. So we definitely wanted to come and to support this walk as a partner with the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina and just really bring these resources together. Now, even though we've been walking since we were one, most people, have been walking since they were like a year old, but really we will have, I was glad that Nicky mentioned, the YWCA is going to be doing YMCA. There we go.
It's the M. Is it the M or the W?
The M. So the Y
Yes, no
The
wild.
Y will be out there. But the stretching is super important. We'll have lifestyle coaches from our diabetes prevention programs who can talk more about how do you incorporate physical activity in your daily life. Weight loss is not always the goal. Many times it's just fitness.
That's
It's just
right.
the mental aspect of it. I know, Trey, you're an avid walker as well, and sometimes just walking to clear your head is an important
Yes.
thing.
Absolutely. I love that you say that because you're right. Whether you want to or should or could lose weight or not is really irrelevant. Walking, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, with Mr. Johnson. Walking has so many benefits. And like I said, I don't want to get into the next interview, but it's just a great way, in addition to the health benefits, it's a good bonding experience to be able to share the walking, be outside, talking with family and friends. So, Nikki, to that point, it's not a race, it's just a walk, and people can walk at their own pace, right?
Exactly. And they can walk for as long as they would like. The track will be open for 2 hours. So if someone wants to come and get a good 20-minute walk in to start their Saturday morning, we'd love that. If they want to spend the first 2 hours of their Saturday morning on the track, they're also welcome to do that.
Yeah, I think that's such a great concept because you're right. Some people may be able to walk longer. Some people may not be able to walk longer, whether it has to do with their endurance or their time, but people can come by Segra Park and just kind of walk at their leisure.
Exactly. We'll have people cheering them on there as well.
Yeah. So again, gates open at 8. The walk begins at 9. Now, how can people or do people need to sign up for the walk?
We would love people to register. We've got I believe the registration link is popping up exactly right on the screen there. Register, let us know how many people are gonna show up. But if you wake up Saturday morning and forgot to register, still come on out. We want to see you.
Right. So people can register. You can see the QR code on the screen, but people can also go to the In It Together Facebook page and also the YouTube channel and find out and find the QR code, find out more information. But come on and register. As you said, there'll be some great snacks. There'll be great information. Lifestyle coaches, Michelle, you mentioned, will be there to kind of talk to people. What kind of information can people get from some of the DHEC lifestyle coaches?
Oh my gosh. And I know that Nikki's quite the expert because she works very closely with our lifestyle coaches. But these folks some of them are professionals like nurses and doctors. Some of them are just people who are super committed to the community. And they head our programs that are a year-long program that you can come in and learn about if you have prediabetes and learn about diabetes prevention and management as well. Well, we have management classes as well, but they are such a wealth of knowledge. And when it comes to the physical activity component of it, there will be different modules in the NDPP classes that do talk specifically about physical activity, and walking is just that universal activity that people can do. It is so accessible. And I was glad to hear Nikki say, we're going to have cheerleaders there cheering you on. And again, you can participate in as much or as little of it as you want, because there'll be enough activities. We'll have things on the Jumbotron with information. So it'll really be a great morning of just understanding and sharing all types of physical activity information.
Yeah, I love that because listen, you can walk up those Segra Park steps.
You've gotten some steps in. Yes.
You've gotten some steps in. So you can walk up those steps, go grab you a snack and go right to one of the NDPP folks and get some information about an NDPP program. Nikki, talk about what is offered through those national diabetes prevention programs.
Yeah, so our NDPPs are located all over the state of South Carolina. You can go virtually or in person. They're held at churches, hospitals, community organizations, and it's a 1-year-long lifestyle change program. So it literally teaches people who are at risk of risk for prediabetes or of diabetes kind of how to change their lifestyle behaviors so they never develop type 2 diabetes or they delay the onset of type 2 diabetes. So you're learning how to cook healthy meals, how to deal with stress, how to change your habits, all sorts of things.
Yeah. So this is some great practical information, some support, some information, some motivation, some encouragement with like-minded people. Now, people can go, like you said, all over the state, and they can either go in person or virtually. Is that correct?
Correct. So it's whatever someone's preference level is. If they would prefer to tune in at home, you're still getting a group support. So you're kind of in a class with about 10 people, maybe 15 people. Yeah, all virtual. That is completely fine. If you want to go into the community and meet people face to face, those are available as well.
Awesome. So we're talking about the 2022 Wellness Walk. It's next Saturday. Gates open at 8. The walk begins at 9 until 11. And like Nikki and Michelle said, you can just come by and just walk for as little, for as much as you want to, and just enjoy the day. Dr. Tijuana Ross says hi. Hey there, Dr. T. We appreciate you so much watching, and hope that you and your family can come and walk next Saturday. The weather's supposed to be great, so coming out and join us. Michelle?
And Trey, I did want to mention as well, because we have those awesome diabetes prevention classes, but like I alluded to earlier, if you're listening or you're viewing and you have diabetes already, we have a place for you as well. The Diabetes Action Council, go to our website, inittogethersc.org. You can also find information about diabetes self-management education classes, because it is just as important wherever you are on the health spectrum. We've got somebody that can connect with you. So again, come on out. We want to see you next Saturday. It would be great to register ahead of time. You can also go to Eventbrite, by the way. You can go to Eventbrite as well and look for Wellness Walk 2022. We also want to make sure that we thank Columbia's Praise 95.7 FM, because they have been a great media partner as well, helping to get the information out. So we'll have some inspirational music going. And again, like Nikki said, there'll be door prizes. You don't want to miss those. Free snacks. And again, it's all free. So come on out.
That's going to be great. Next Saturday is the place to be. Go to the In It Together SC website or go to their Facebook page. You can see the information on the screen. Register, get your family and friends together, and spend next Saturday at Segra Park for the Wellness Walk 2022. Again, for more information, visit inittogethersc.org or visit the In It Together page on Facebook. Segra Park is the place to be next weekend. Come on out and join us. Michelle Harris, Nikki King, both with SC DHEC. We appreciate you guys so much, not only for joining us, but for putting together this excellent opportunity for people to come together and not only get physical exercise and activity, but get the information they need to live and thrive and survive with a healthy lifestyle. Thank you guys so much. They're going to hang around a little bit, but up next, we're going to talk about why walking is so helpful and beneficial. James Johnson joins us with MUSC. That's next on Wellness Wednesday on Coping with COVID from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Carolyn Sawyer, an entrepreneur and caregiver. Part of taking care of your health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is serious and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. Up to 90% of South Carolinians who have it don't know they have it. Visit inittogethersc.org. Take an online test to find out your risk and join a diabetes prevention program. This message brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of SC.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday lives, but when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821. Thank
you again for joining us for Wellness Wednesday. In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life, because we'll always be coping with something. We were talking earlier about Wellness Walk 2022. It's coming to Segra Park, and Betty Fisher says that she is already registered and looking forward to being there. Betty, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you too next Saturday. Doors open at 8. The walk starts at 9 o'clock. Well, why is walking so important? Are there benefits to walking? and what are they? James Johnson joins us. He's director of group exercise and based programs at MUSC. Thank you, Mr. Johnson, so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So listen, is walking helpful?
Absolutely. Absolutely. For a lot of individuals, walking is probably the most convenient means of getting healthy. You don't have to belong anywhere. You can put on a supportive pair of shoes and walk right out of your door and start a process of getting healthier through movement, through managing stress, controlling your blood sugar levels, bringing down your cholesterol levels. The possible benefits are endless.
Yeah.
In addition to the fact that it's just great for that mental release of getting out and getting moving.
Yeah. So how does walking do all of that? I mean, and you know, listen, like Michelle Harris said earlier, I'm a walker, I'm an exerciser. So I need it for my mental, physical, and emotional health. And I see the benefits. But what's the scientific information, you know, that supports that it's so good for you?
Well, it's a very simple formula when you think of it. The more of your body that you use, that you move, right, the better your body actually performs and feels. So if you've ever been in a gym, you'll see people on various pieces of equipment working one part of their body at a time. And that's great. But you want to systemically, you want to get that entire body working as one unit. And one of the best ways to do that is through walking. And you can walk at a pace that's comfortable for you. You can walk a little bit more aggressively in spells. And like I said, my grandfather used to always say that the body's like a classic car. It's great to look at, but if you don't use it, it's just going to be a rust bucket.
Yeah, yeah. James Johnson joins us. He's director of group exercise and science-based programs at MUSC. We're talking about walking because the Wellness Walk 2022 is coming to Segra Park. It's next Saturday. And we're talking about how beneficial walking is. So how much or how little walking do you need to do for it to really impact you?
It is very individual. So doing something is obviously better than nothing. And, in terms of cardiovascular fitness, we try to coach people to do at least 15 to 20 minutes minimum. But if you're not used to moving, just the process of getting started, 5, 6, 8 minutes at a time, in a week or two, you're probably going to double that just because now you're getting the body lubricated so the joints are less stiff. You're supplying lots of oxygen and blood flow, everything you need in all the cells of your body to start regenerating and healing and functioning better. So getting started is the hard part. Gradually increasing only enhances the benefits and continue to get them, moving.
Right.
So aim, for a comfortable level for you and add a little bit every other week or so.
Every other week. So we talked about how fat, how much, how little, how fast or how slow.
Well, obviously, the more vigorous you exercise, you're going to get tired, right? So you have to balance it out. Like I said earlier, we try and coach people to move a minimum of 15 to 20 minutes. Allow yourself some warm-up time. Maybe the first 3-4 minutes, you're just getting out, letting the breath get a little bit deeper, letting the stiffness work itself out of the joints, right? And then walk a little more vigorously for about 3 to 4 minutes. Then back off a little bit and cool down some. And so if you break it into these 3 segments, then all of a sudden you're going to have many more minutes behind you than if you just walk out the door and try to really pump those arms and get going. And so in your vigorous segment, obviously there's more benefits in terms of burning more calories and those types of things. But I always coach people to build up those minutes first and then the intensity second.
Well, Mr. Johnson, I've been doing it all wrong. I start fast and then I wear myself out and then I slow down. So am I doing it wrong? I guess so.
No, not at all. You're not doing it wrong. What you're doing it is you're doing what you have actually become accustomed to, and now you're worked up to those intense minutes.
Yeah.
And because you've been doing it, like you said, for a while. For someone who's new to it, if they tried to keep up with you, they might go, "Oh, girl, I'll see you next time." See you.
Yeah.
So you have to do what works for you, and before you know it, you're going to be doing more, and you're going to be doing it faster, and you're actually going to be enjoying it much more.
Right. I wanted to ask too about, and we talked about how fast, how slow, because I've got a 2 and a 4 and a 6-year-old. So of course, when I'm walking with them, it's a leisurely walk around, and I'm wondering, am I getting any benefit out of leisurely walking with them? I'm sure they are because they're younger. But what is the benefit, or are there benefits for really walking slowly if you're just doing a leisurely walk?
Okay. So you mentioned in the company of your children, right? So there are health benefits, but just as importantly, you're teaching your children healthy habits.
Right.
They're going to grow on. You're bonding with them, spending time outside, because often when we're in the house, we're doing a task, the kids are doing another task. So there are a lot of ancillary benefits that work the whole unit, the whole family unit.
Mm-hmm.
No one is capable of going out that door. I say no one, not most people anyway, are capable of going out that door and doing the exact same thing at the same pace, at the same length every day. We get tired. I think, on a Friday, I guarantee you don't feel as well as you felt on Monday on those vigorous walks. So just be mindful of the fact that every bit helps. And in addition to you're helping your whole family be healthy.
Yeah. Wellness Walk 2022 is at Segra Park next Saturday. And for more information, you can see the flyer on the screen. You can go to endittogethersc.org. We would love for you to register, but if you don't get a chance to register, please bring your family and friends. Come on out. Gates open at 8 and the walk starts at 9. As Dr. Johnson says, you can walk as fast or as slow, as little as much. It's from 9 until 11. So I think Nicky mentioned you can walk around the track a couple of times or just one time, whatever is good for you. And James Johnson says that's good if it's good for you. He's a director of group exercise and science-based programs at MUSC. Mr. Johnson, how often should you walk? If people are just starting to walk next Saturday at Segra Park for Wellness Walk 2022, how often should they continue to walk?
I often tell most of the people that I work with that the reason we get better is because of what we do, but the change takes place when we recover. I encourage people to walk every other day, right? When you're first starting out, right? And then when you're building that strength and you're building your cardiovascular endurance, all of a sudden you're walking 2 to 3 days before you actually need a day off. But part of the process is learning your body. So there are going to be times when you're going to be tired and, maybe the body is telling you, I need to recover a little bit, or maybe I just need to do something a little bit different. So on those tired days, maybe I just stretch some. But you want to definitely sort of monitor your progress and gradually build up if you're just getting started. If you're used to walking, honestly, it's one of the few activities you can do about every day. Really, there's so little wear and tear on the body when it comes to running, as opposed to a lot of other fitness activities. You will really see the benefits the more that you can do it. But always remember to listen to your body and give your body some time off and some recovery as well.
Right. Because I guess I'm sure when you first start walking, you might get a little sore, right?
Correct. Absolutely. When your body's not used to something, even though you know it's good for you, your body has to figure it out.
Yeah.
It's not automatic.
Yeah, your mind is willing, but your body say no. Yeah.
Exactly. And also don't be surprised if when you start an exercise program like walking for the first time, You get these chemical releases in your body and you get real energetic. But then after a little while, you get tired and you might get a little hungry. Right? And so this is all a part of the process of your body moving to a healthier state. So just a little bit more thought to those calories you're now taking in, because if you're investing in yourself in physical activity, invest in yourself in fueling that body well.
Awesome. Awesome. Wellness Walk 2022, Segra Park, gates open at 8. The walk starts at 9. It's till 11. Not only will there be walking at your own pace, but as we heard from Nicky and Michelle with SC DHEC in the last segment, there'll also be some snacks, some folks there, wellness counselors that will help you start your diabetes prevention program or help you maintain your diabetes and give you all kind of great information. Plus, there'll be prizes too. The Eventbrite link is in the chat. And so you can log on, you can click that link and go straight to the Eventbrite page. It's absolutely free, but we would love for you to register for Wellness Walk 2022. Mr. Johnson, before we leave, let you leave, we've got a question. Danielle says, and Danielle, thanks for your question. She says, does walking in a large office building all day long count as walking? Hey, Danielle, thanks. That's a great question. I guess she's, if you're walking up and down and in and out and back and forth and back,
Oh, absolutely. It does. And in fact, fitness trackers are a current trend in the industry, and they can track the amount of steps, that you get in a day. And if you have a time management, crunch issue, certainly moving around in your building, going up and down stairs, absolutely, it counts. We talked about every little piece. It comes together as a sum of a whole. It's nice to get outside and get that sunlight, to get just a mental break from the same old surroundings all the time. But the most important thing to do is to move.
Yeah.
That your capability of that day, by all means, do it, Danielle.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle, so much. That's such a great question. There was a trend several years ago that said, you should take the stairs instead of the elevator, or park further away when you go into the grocery store or the mall or whatever. Those are practices I, put in place. But are those things, like you said, the every little bit help? Does every little bit of that, are those good things too, for real?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The stairs force you to increase your stride length, lift your knees, pump your arms, those types of things. But there are some individuals, like myself. I was a pro track and field athlete. I've got a lot of wear and tear on my ankles, and going downstairs, sometimes you might look at me a little funny. It doesn't feel its best on some days.
Right.
But if you can tolerate it, by all means, please do.
Awesome. We can see the Eventbrite link on the screen right now. And again, wherever you are watching from the In It Together page, YouTube, Facebook, the TaylorMade production page, it is listed in the chat section. You can just click that link, go straight to the Eventbrite page, and you can register for Wellness Walk 2022. It's happening next Saturday. Gates open at 8 o'clock. The Wellness Walk begins at 9 a.m. at Segra Park. We would love for you to join us. Anything else we need to know, Mr. Johnson? I know you said we need a good pair of shoes, and we're going to talk a little bit about that with Mary Rowe. But how do we make sure we've got some good shoes?
It's always very helpful to go someplace with someone who's trained to help fit you properly. Doesn't mean you have to buy there. A lot of times you can save money by buying online, but you don't know if the size is correct. Also, these individuals can look at your gait, which is how your body actually moves, because shoes are designed very differently. There's some that will help your motion control. You can watch some people, and when they walk, their ankles also move laterally. So it's very helpful to use the experts in the shoe industry, right? And in addition to that, it should feel like it's reducing some of that shock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are there places like that here? Are there places like that that fit you? I know when I was a kid and, getting the kids' shoes, they fit them. But Can you get your shoes? Can you get fitted for shoes?
Absolutely. I buy exclusively at the shoe store. The shoe store is owned by physical therapists and podiatrists, and they really educate their staff. Tri Sports requires all their salespeople to go through a training program. I feel like Dick's Sporting Goods does a great job as well. I've taken my daughter there, and they've done a really good job with her, and she is a finicky buyer.
Yeah, that's great to know. Michelle said yes. Michelle, did you want to chime in on getting your feet fitted?
Oh, no, that's an interesting one. But yes, I actually have done that. So thank you, Mr. Johnson. Great information. But what was funny was when I went there and he measured my feet and he was just saying, "You've been wearing shoes that are too small." And I'm like, the devil is a liar. But he was absolutely correct. And it does make a difference when you are properly fitting and you don't. It's an investment in yourself. Let's put it that way, because it's great to find stuff on sale, but the cheapest shoes are not always the best ones. So invest in yourself for this.
Right. Or used shoes, Mr. Johnson. You probably shouldn't wear used. I mean, because I'm a big thrifter. So look, I'll be walking around and my whole outfit costs $10 or less. But is it true? And my sister-in-law said this, that because people's feet are different and the shoe shapes to your foot, you probably shouldn't purchase used shoes. Is that correct?
It may not be the best idea in terms of walking, right? But there are two things I can tell you. One is you can always buy an insert and put it into a shoe, and that shoe
starts to
become accustomed to your foot now.
Right.
And the other thing is that, you can get yourself what I cut the grass with and work in the yard and get underneath of my truck with is certainly not what I exercise in.
Right.
I try and leave my exercise shoes for exercising.
Yeah.
In terms of a new shoe, walk around in that new shoe for a couple of weeks around the house, in the office, those types of things before you head out and try and walk miles in them. Because they do kind of fit themselves and customize around whether you have high arches, low arches, pronate, supinate.
Yeah.
So, like Michelle said, invest in your feet.
Invest in your feet.
Yeah. And great information. And I want to encourage people like me, because during the pandemic, working from home, staring at a screen all day, my physical activity went way down. So I am just now getting back into getting out there. And so that's why I was listening intently to what you were saying, Mr. Johnson, because great information. You just start somewhere. I'll meet you all out there on Saturday, and I will be one of those ones that does one lap and sit down. One lap and sit down, but I'm going, but I'm moving. So that's important.
Yeah. The Wellness Walk 2022, Segra Park, next Saturday. Doors open at 8 a.m. The walk starts at 9. The link and the flyer are right there on the screen. The link is in the chat wherever you are watching. James Johnson, thank you so much for joining us today. He's Director of Group Exercise and Science-Based Programs at MUSC. He's given us all the reasons why we should walk, why it's helpful, why it's beneficial, and how to get and where to get some good walking shoes from. All right. Mr. Johnson, thank you again so much for joining us. Michelle, thank you too. Coming up next, after the Wellness Walk, how can you continue to walk and where? Mary Rowe with Palmetto Trails joins us next on Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council.
Hi, I'm Master Deputy Addie Perez with the Richland County Sheriff's Department Community Action Team. As a mother, I know it's important to take care of my health for those I care about. Part of doing that is knowing my risk for developing type 2 diabetes. So if I was you, I'll take the opportunity to visit inittogethersc.org and take an online test to find out if you have prediabetes. Again, the website is inittogethersc.org. This message is brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of South Carolina.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday life. But when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821.
In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council present Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with Tre Tailor. I'm Tre Tailor. We're giving you info and advice to help you thrive and survive in life because we will always be coping with something. Today, we are talking about the Diabetes Walk, September 24th at Segra Park. And of course, hiking is a part of walking. So Mary Rowe joins us today from Palmetto Trails to tell us about all of the amazing, interesting, and fun places and ways you can hike in South Carolina. Check this out.
Once we're out the door, leave your message here on the telephone, 'cause we've no idea when we're coming home. Any place we wander to, any season we go through, I'll be fine as long as I'm with you. Heaven knows, heaven knows.
Mary Rowe joins us. She is with Palmetto Trails. She has been the executive director of programs and development for about 10 years now. And she creates fun-filled and exciting programs, energetic, organized, and passionate about gardening, hiking, and cooking. As I said, she's been with Palmetto Trails for 10 years. Mary, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. As you heard, the Diabetes Action Council is hosting their walk September 24th. And thank you so much for joining us today to talk to us about how and where we can walk in South Carolina. So first of all, who should walk? Who can go on these walks that you guys organize?
Everyone can go on this walk. We've done hikes with the Hike It Baby group, and moms and dads are coming out with babies on their back in backpacks. We have retirees, as old as 80 plus years old coming out on the trail. And so the Palmetto Trail is South Carolina's cross-state trail system, and it has trails for everyone. But if we're talking here in the Midlands region, mostly all those trails are going to be pretty flat. Upstate, you're going to have some elevation, but in the low country, again, it's going to be very, very flat.
So I guess it really depends then on your level of hiking, because I guess a beginner may want to start with a flat trail. Do you think?
Yeah, I would recommend that. We have both urban and nature-based trails. And the first thing is, get a buddy. It's always more fun to hike with somebody or your dog, that type of thing, or your children. And I encourage parents to really bring their children out on trails. We know for a fact that if children are not introduced to nature by the age of 3, they actually become very fearful. And so we need to introduce them to, nature. It's very different than a sidewalk. You see things differently, you hear things differently, and you really just get very relaxed, and it's very peaceful. So it could be a half a mile. It could be just going to one of our trailheads and suddenly coming on a bridge overlooking the Broad River. There's so much access.
That's so interesting you say that, because I'm thinking, of course, about my two, of a 4 and a 6-year-old, and we walk a lot in our neighborhood, and we do go to parks. We live in Columbia, so we'll go downtown Columbia to Riverwalk and stuff like that. Is that a sufficient introduction for children?
Yeah, I think it is, just getting them out and having that experience with you. Now, those are obviously paved and there is a sense of security. I know, a lot of people are afraid. What about snakes, or what about, the wild beasts of nature? And I have to tell you, there are so many easy trails that are nature-based. And when I mean nature-based, it is a trail that usually is, sand or dirt or pine needles. And you're going to see and experience something very, very, very different. So do whatever you're comfortable with. But the most important thing is getting out and either hiking 30 minutes, walking 30 minutes, or if you're adventurous, 3 hours. But you can visit our website and we give guidelines about how to get out and hike.
You can see the website on the screen. Mary Rowe joins us. She is Executive Director of Palmetto Trails. We're talking about walking and hiking. You said people are concerned about snakes. Well, what about snakes? Should we be concerned when we're hiking?
We're
going to their house.
Well, we are, I have to say that, you're cautious, but really don't be fearful. Snakes don't want to be with you, and we don't want to be with snakes. So normally they hear you coming and, they hide. And that, I have to tell you, we haven't had any incidences on the trail. There are no snake bites. There are no, bears or anything like that. Again, what you should do, no matter where you hike, is let somebody know that you're out hiking, when you are leaving, and when you're supposed to be back. Those are just good common sense. But no, we can't be fearful of the nature. And there's so much beauty out there.
It is, definitely. And I love outside. I love the nature. And that's why I take the kids walking. But I hear you. Hiking is really kind of the next level of walking. So let's talk a little bit about, before we talk about some of the types of hikes you guys offer and what you can create for people. What do you need to wear when you're hiking?
Well, you need to get good socks and good shoes. Okay, that is number one. The shoes should be sneakers or, some type of sport shoe with a covered toe, no open toes. Layering. You can always take off, but you can't, if you don't bring it and the weather changes,
right,
you're kind of stuck. So, look at the weather, but breathable materials, it's not expensive. There's hiking and clothes at almost every retail outlet. So make sure it's comfortable. It's not going to be too tight. You don't want to, get chafing or anything like that. But most importantly, it is your shoes. Make sure you are prepared and to walk and not get blisters.
Right. So do we wear boots? Because I see people wearing boots. So are boots better than, like, I guess, a good walking sneaker?
No, you know what? It all depends. If you're in the upstate and you're going to have some elevation, you need some ankle support. So I would encourage a hiking boot. But here in the low country, a sneaker is just fine. Okay. You don't need to get all the gear and spend a lot of money. We want to make it easy. You wake up, you slip on those sneakers, and you're off on the trail.
Right. And like you said, long pants, I'm sure, sweatpants or something like that, as opposed to short pants.
Yeah, well, I hike in short pants. It all depends again. I mean, some of our trails are very wide and we maintain them. They're mowed. And so on a hot day in South Carolina, you want to be in shorts. Mm-hmm. Don't go into high grass. That's where you get ticks and that's where you're going to see snakes. Stay on the trail. Okay. We work very, very hard to maintain trails so they're safe. For the most part, they're pretty wide. You can walk next to a person. So I would just encourage you to look at the weather and dress accordingly.
Yeah, Mary Rowe joins us on a Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. She is Executive Director of Palmetto Trail, and they actually organize hiking events, trips, and etc. for everyone in your family. We were just talking about what you need to wear. Do you need a backpack, Mary?
Yeah, either a water bottle, make sure you do have a water source, okay, for the appropriate amount of time you're going to be out there. So, a backpack, they're so light today. Well, a water bottle, some Band-Aids, sunscreen, mosquito, repellent, just your basics things to make sure that you're comfortable out there. You don't want to get out and suddenly, the sun is so strong that you're getting sunburned. So it's very common sense. Again, you can visit our website and we give hiking 101, what to bring and make sure it's enjoyable for you.
Yeah, we can see the website right here on the screen. Mary Rowe joins us from Palmetto Trail. What about a hat? Do we need a hat if it's hot?
Well, that's a personal preference. I happen to like hats, but again, some people don't like to wear a hat, but it's a personal preference. I guess the most important thing I'm going to reiterate is really your shoes.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the part of the body that takes a little bit of a beating.
Right. Now, you said that you guys do organize different events, organized hiking. Tell us about some of those that you have and like how long they are, where they are, and how people can take advantage of that.
Okay. Yeah. We understand that not everybody is comfortable hiking, but may desire to hike. And then we have people that absolutely have no problem, get up, go and hike. So our hikes are for every ability. We have a hike once a month. Normally they go about 2 to 3 miles because we like to talk to the hikers about the fauna, the history. A lot of our trails have significant history. They're rail trails. So, we like to share the history of the trail. And so what we've been doing is we've been doing hikes where it's about a 2-mile hike, and that's for all abilities and all ages. And we love seeing children. And we've been pairing it up with a small farmer's market and a health screening because again, it's a multiple, component into, good health, getting exercise, having really fresh food, and local food, and then getting a simple blood pressure test, a BMI, and for a couple hours, we've just done it all. We've given you good food. We've given you an opportunity to check on your health and get out and become maybe more comfortable hiking.
I love that. So like you said, it's for all ages. And you said age 3 is probably a good age to start your children.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, they can walk, they can kind of run, and any parent will appreciate tiring those toddlers out. I know I did. I have 2 girls, and we were always out hiking. I will mention, in we're growing this program. We have kiosks up at our Alston Trailhead, which is about a 35-minute drive from downtown Columbia. It's called Trail Tracks, and at the kiosk, there are brochures that talk about, for kids, what animals they're going to see, the history of the railroad. This is a national program. So if you travel across the country as a family, you can look up trail tracks and visit other sites. But there more trail tracks are being put in the state of South Carolina, just not on our trail.
Yeah. People can go to the Palmetto Trail website for more information about the events that Mary is talking about. So in addition to the short trail, which I guess that would be the introductory one, the 1 or 2 mile one with the farmers market,
Yes.
What are some other trails? And is this one for everywhere in the state of South Carolina? Do you do this introductory hike everywhere?
We do. We sort of switch month by month. We either do one in the low country or the upstate. And so we've modeled this across the state. So it's been very successful. And then we're growing into more hikes, not just on weekends. A lot of the retired population would love a Wednesday hike, and ladies and a lot of ladies like to hike with just ladies. So we're trying the whole gambit of different hikes and getting people out. We do urban trails too. We have a trail in Newberry and we have a trail in downtown here in Columbia. So when the weather gets a little cooler, you'll see us all hiking down Main Street and over into the Shandon neighborhood and so on.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So do you already put together these hikes and then offer them, or can people call and say, hey, Mary, I've got some friends, I want to do a hike. Can you create something for me?
Yes, both.
Both.
The answer is, yeah. So we get a lot of calls and say we want to do the Capital City Passage, or we're going out to Peak. So we work with people to get them, prepared for their hike. So we're here for everybody, and it is South Carolina's trail. So it's for all South Carolinians.
I love this. This is such a great, fun, interesting, different activity for, like you said, for your family, for your friends, bachelorette party, whatever. It's just a great, interesting, different type of outing while you are getting to know the state, because like you said, you can do these all over the state, and getting a feel of nature, getting some fresh air. Now, what about camping? Do you do any overnight camping along with the trail walking, Mary?
We do. We have primitive campsites, we call them, where you can pitch a tent and there's a little fire pit, and you pack it in and you pack it out. We have begun to create some campsites now that actually have some grills and picnic tables, really trying to encourage families to come out and have that experience. Again, we will work with you on what you need to camp and how to prepare, and we'd like to know when you're out there camping. All our campsites are free, and the Palmetto Trail is free. So there are no barriers at all. And we are open 365 days of the year.
Every day, all day. That is great. So people can go to the sctrails.net website or the Palmetto Trails website for more information. Of course, they can call Mary. You can see that information on the screen. If you want more information about participating in a great hike, or if you want to create something, the folks at Palmetto Trails can certainly help you. Mary, I love this idea, and I love that this is available for the people, I say of South Carolina, but really it's available for anybody.
That is correct. And, I know you have a walk coming up with the diabetes, but, maybe next year, think about us leading your hike on one of our trails. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm going to do that.
All right.
I love that. Well, I actually love that.
We recognize that, the good work that you all are doing, and really how diabetes and other health issues are really plaguing a population of South Carolina. Yes. And we want to be a partner in helping, reduce diabetes, reduce the obesity rate, and get people healthy.
Yeah. And it's walking. It's just a different type of walk. It's a walk through nature. Maybe you call it a nature walk.
Yeah, absolutely. But please, if there's listeners out there today, call us, let us know how we can get you out on a trail and feeling comfortable, making this a routine, making it part of your life.
I'm going to do that, Mary. I'm so excited about this. And I'm just thinking now that the kids would love it. The 6-year-old is really into not only nature, but animals. And, so I'm thinking about doing this before it gets too cold, before December, maybe.
Yeah. Well, it's a beautiful time of year. And like I said, 30 minutes, if you head out to our Peak to Prosperity passage, you park at the Alston Trailhead, you walk 500 feet and you are on the most unbelievable railroad trestle bridge that overlooks the Broad River, and your children are going to see lots of turtles and otters, and you're only 35 minutes from downtown Columbia. How can you go wrong?
Yeah, it sounds amazing. So interesting, so exciting. For more information about you and your family or your friends participating in a hike or nature walk, contact Mary Rowe at Palmetto Trails. The information is on the screen. Mary, thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for spearheading this amazing effort to get folks out, get folks about, and not only get them discovering the state, but also, like I said, it's just such a great and exciting and different form of exercise. And we can't ever get enough of that.
That's right. Well, thank you for having me today.
Absolutely. Mary Woe with the Palmetto Trail. Again, you can see the information on the screen. Coming up next, more from Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. I'm Tre Tailor. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Carolyn Sawyer, an entrepreneur and caregiver. Part of taking care of your health is knowing if you're at risk of type 2 diabetes. Prediabetes is serious and puts you at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. Up to 90% of South Carolinians who have it don't know they have it. Visit inittogethersc.org. Take an online test to find out your risk and join a diabetes prevention program. This message brought to you by the Diabetes Action Council of SC.
Computers, they're a part of our everyday life. But when they're not working, they're an everyday problem. So call Computers Unique, your everyday solution. 803-351-5821. Is your computer running slow? Won't turn on? Do you need a screen replaced? Or maybe you just need another computer? Well, Computers Unique is your one-stop shop for all your computer needs. They have a wide variety of new and pre-owned PCs, Macs, and tablets. So call Computers Unique, Dutch Square Mall. 803-351-5821. 803-351-5821.
Thank you so much for joining us today for Wellness Wednesday from In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council on Coping, hosted by me, Tre Tailor. Listen, if you have a story or initiative that could help someone cope with COVID, please email booking@copingwithtretatailor.com. booking@copingwithtretatailor.com. We would love to feature your story or initiative. If you have a product or service that could help someone cope, please email copingwithtretatailor@gmail.com. We would love for you to be a proud sponsor, just like In It Together SC and the Diabetes Action Council. They sponsor Wellness Wednesday every Wednesday here on Coping with COVID and Coping with Tre Tailor. We're also sponsored by Javis Financial Services, the Comet Bus System, Black Pages Black Expo, also Agape Counseling and Training Services, and of course, Computers Unique, Jet Square Mall. Coming up tomorrow, we're going to talk with Tamika Scott, the singer, actress, and TV host, is hosting a great event on tomorrow, and she's going to be telling us about her upcoming book. And then on Friday, we'll be talking to Shay. She's a young entrepreneur with Shay Beauty Supply in Columbia, South Carolina. That and more coming up this week on Coping with Tre Tailor. Until the next time, I wish you peace, abundant blessings. Thank you so much for joining us for Wellness Wednesday. Take care, stay well, God bless, and don't forget to wear your mask over your nose and under your chin. We'll see you tomorrow.
Coping, find peace of mind to survive through whatever. Coping, learning the way that we thrive all together. Coping, finding out what's real. Coping, we can heal, we can heal, we can heal. Coping with stress, coping with strife, bringing hope for success, for improving our life. Coping beyond hoping to do more than survive, ways to live a healthy life. Coping and promoting, learning what you can do, 6 ways to a better you.